So, good afternoon, everyone. This side Shikha, your host for Krishi Manthan 30 Days International Summer School Training Program. It is India's largest training program jointly organized by Just Agriculture Utkarsh PDKV Akola, Incubation Center and Shikonda Lakshman Telangana, State Horticulture University Hyderabad. We will cover 25 plus modules related to agriculture and agripreneurship. The stakeholders, participants of this program are students, scientists, working professional, farmers, and industry person. In this program, we will discuss in detail of each topics: drone technology and agribots, hydroponics and polyhouse technology, rooftop farming and microgreens, saffron farming, pearl culture technology, biofloc fish farming technology, poultry and piggery training, dry flower technology, mushroom production, IoT and artificial intelligence. So now we welcome esteemed guest Dr. Manpreet Singh Barar, working as senior agronomist in Oakwood Agritech Private Limited, Punjab. So it's an honor for us, sir. You are here and I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Dr. Manpreet Singh Brar, working as senior agronomist in Oakwood Agritech Private Limited in the Mohali, Punjab. I'm here to deliver a lecture. I'll be talking about CRM, crop residue management, appeal for environmental remedies. And let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Visible. It's visible.
Okay. I'll start with crop residue management. As all of you know, the time after about 1.5 months, it's going to approach that everyone will be talking about crop residue management. And this is one of the most burning topic in today's life, in the life of farmers, scientists, as well as agriculture entrepreneurs, how to handle the crop residue so that we can properly manage and decrease the environmental hazards like pollution or air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. So first we will start, what is crop residue? Crop residue is basically any part of plant which is left in the field after the crop has been harvested. जब हम किसी क्रॉप को हार्वेस्ट करते हैं, चाहे राइस है या वीट है, तो उसके बाद हार्वेस्ट करने के बाद जो नीचे उसका पार्ट रह जाता है उसको बोलते हैं क्रॉप रेजिड्यू। उसके बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स भी हैं और उसको अगर मिस यूज किया जाए तो उसके बहुत सारे डीमेरिट्स भी हैं। they basically these materials have been regarded as waste materials जिनका हम बोलते हैं कि डिस्पोजल करना जरूरी है, बट डे बाय डे they have become increasingly that they are important sources of nutrients and various natural resources. Then there are basically two type of crop residues. First is field residues, second is the processed residues. As it is clear from the name, field residues are the materials which are left in the field after or any orchard after the crop has been harvested. That may be the leaves, that may be the stems, that may be seed pods. Anything which left on the ground is a field residue. And it can be managed through different ways, or it can be incorporated or used as a mulch. Another is processed residues. These are the materials which are left after the crop is processed. जब किसी crop को एक process किया जाता है, किसी usable resource में उसको convert किया जाता है, तो उसका जो रह जाता है, जैसे हम शुगर केन में करते हैं तो bagaces रह जाते हैं, molasses रह जाते हैं, या कई क्रॉप्स में रूट्स रह जाते हैं। कोई प्रोसेसिंग करने के बाद जो एंड प्रोडक्ट रह जाता है उसको रेजिड्यू, प्रोसेस रेजिड्यू बोलते हैं। उसमें भी बहुत सारा फर्टिलाइजर सोर्स होता है, वो भी एक सॉइल के लिए हेल्दी चीज साबित हो सकती है, एनवायरनमेंट के लिए हो सकती है, हमारी क्रॉप नेक्स्ट क्रॉप कमिंग क्रॉप के लिए हो सकती है। तो जब हम क्रॉप रेजिड्यू की बात करते हैं या टाइप ऑफ रेजिड्यू की बात करते हैं, तो जो मतलब सबसे मेजर कंसर्न आता है कि हाउ टू मैनेज द क्रॉप रेजिड्यू। एंड क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट है क्या? क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट बेसिकली मींस मेंटेनिंग 60%। ये एक स्टैंडर्ड है इसका कि 60% हमने सॉइल सरफेस पे कोई प्लांटिंग कवर रखना है, ताकि उसमें क्या होगा कि वाटर क्वालिटी भी इंप्रूव होगी, हमारा वाटर में ज्यादा इवेपोरेशन नहीं होगी, ईटी लॉसेस नहीं होंगे। दूसरा, सॉइल की हेल्थ भी इंप्रूव होगी। ठीक है, तो एक सॉइल सोलराइजेशन की तरह भी एक्ट करती है ये क्रॉप रेजिड्यू, वीड्स की प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी। तो काफी सारे बेनिफिट्स हैं। तो मेनली बेसिकली जो क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट है, दैट इज मेंटेनिंग 60% ऑफ द cover on the soil surface. Then crop residue also provides seasonal crop protection. Crop residue basically crop protection भी प्रोवाइड करती है, जैसे विंड हो गया या कोई अपना इरोजन होगी। अगर कहीं मल्चिंग यूज करते हैं या क्रॉप रेजिड्यू यूज करते हैं, तो सॉइल इरोजन या वाटर इरोजन, इन चीजों से हमें प्रिकॉशंस मिलती हैं और बचाव होता है। दूसरा, एक जो सबसे ज्यादा फायदा है कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू है जो हमारे, ये ऑर्गेनिक मैटर ऐड करते हैं सॉइल में। क्यों? क्योंकि जो सारा का सारा रेजिड्यू होता है वो फुल ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स होता है। तो जब उसको हम कोई इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हैं, मिक्स करते हैं या फील्ड पे छोड़ते हैं, तो अल्टीमेटली वो एट द लास्ट विद टाइम बीइंग डीकम्पोज होके वो एक सॉइल में ऑर्गेनिक मैटर को ऐड करता है। तो उसमें सॉइल की जो ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन है उसमें इंप्रूवमेंट होती है। ठीक है, उसके बाद आ जाती है जैसे इनफिल्ट्रेशन को इम्प्रूव करते हैं, इनफिल्ट्रेशन रेट्स, पोर्स खुल जाती है, इनफिल्ट्रेशन रेट्स इंप्रूव होते हैं, एरिएशन अच्छी होती है सॉइल की, क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज अगर इनकॉर्पोरेट करे हो, कंपैक्शन सॉइल की ब्रेक हो जाती है, टिल्थ अच्छी मेंटेन हो जाती है। उसी तरह जैसे मैंने बताया कि सॉइल इरोजन कंट्रोल होती है, पोल्यूशन होती है कंट्रोल। क्यों? क्योंकि कोई अलग दूसरे सेडिमेंट्स नहीं सॉइल में मिक्स हो पाते, क्रॉप रेजिड्यू वही हम मिक्स कर देते हैं उसमें सॉइल में। उसके बाद आ जाता है कि दूसरा बेनिफिट के इनमें एक बहुत माइक्रोबियल बायोमास होता है। और जो कि वो बायोमास या एक्टिविटीज अगर हम मल्च भी रखते हैं, इनकॉर्पोरेट भी करते हैं अपर लेयर पे, तो वो जो सॉइल की अपर लेयर है, अपर लेयर्स हैं जो रूट जोन लेयर्स बोल सकते हैं जिनको, तो उन पे रह जाता है। तो वो एक न्यूट्रिएंट का रेजर्वायर एक्ट करता है। दूसरी नेक्स्ट कमिंग क्रॉप को हमें कम न्यूट्रिएंट सोर्सेज डालने पड़ते हैं, उसकी जो क्रॉप की इनिशियल ग्रोथ है वो अच्छी होती है, क्योंकि प्लांट को न्यूट्रिएंट्स उसी से मिल जाते हैं, वो छेती बगअप कर जल्दी बगअप करता है अपनी ग्रोथ को। दूसरा, इन एडिशन टू अल्टर न्यूट्रिएंट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन विद सॉइल प्रोफाइल, चेंज केमिकल और फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज में भी चेंज आते हैं। जैसे कोई आप अगर पोर स्पेस लगा लो, जैसे मैंने बताया, इन्फिल्ट्रेशन इंप्रूव होती है, बल्क डेंसिटी होगी, पार्टिकल डेंसिटी होगी, क्योंकि पोर स्पेस चेंजेस होंगे इसके साथ, तो बल्क डेंसिटी जो हमारी पार्टिकल डेंसिटी है, फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज वो भी ऑल्टर होंगी। दूसरा, ये जो सीआरएम है इसका सबसे ज्यादा फायदा है कि कोई ज्यादा आपको कोई ऐसे नहीं है कि अगर आपने मल्च यूज करनी है या इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है, या अगर दूसरे कोई शिफ्टिंग सोर्सेज भी यूज कर रहे हैं जैसे बेल्स वगैरह या कुछ, बेल्स वाला बोल सकते हैं थोड़ा कॉस्टली है, नहीं तो मोस्टली जो सीआरएम है ये बहुत ही एक कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव मेथड है, जिसके जरिए आप अपनी एनवायरनमेंट को बचा सकते हो। बर्निंग रुक सकती है क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज की, क्योंकि मोस्टली बर्न करते हैं क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज, और उसका 1% भी फायदा नहीं है, सारा नुकसान ही नुकसान है। पोल्यूशन होती है, सॉइल की हेल्थ डिग्रेड होती है, जो हमारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं, नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस, कार्बन, बहुत सारी न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं जो उसमें बर्न हो जाते हैं, जो कि अगली क्रॉप के लिए फायदेमंद हो सकते हैं। उसके बाद आ जाता है रेजिड्यू एस्टिमेशन। अगर हम रेजिड्यू एस्टिमेशन की में बात करें, तो इसकी इसके एस्टिमेट्स दे कैन बी हेल्पफुल फॉर द परसेंटेज ऑफ क्रॉप रेजिड्यू कवर्स इन सम एरियाज। 12 to 20% of the residue is needed to protect relatively flat fields from water erosion. कई जैसे फील्ड्स होते हैं, जैसे कोई फ्लैट फील्ड्स होते हैं, कोई रेनफेड एरियाज ही लगा लो आप, वहां पे वाटर इरोजन के बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं। अगर इसको हम सीआरएम को यूज करें, तो वो वाटर इरोजन हम ओवरकम कर सकते हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि वही इरोजन कंट्रोल करेंगे ये जो क्रॉप रेजिड्यू हमारा अपर सॉइल कवर में होगा। दूसरा, फील्ड जो कोई लॉन्ग स्टीप्स पे हैं या शॉर्ट स्टीप्स पे हैं, स्लोप्स पे हैं, उनको 50 to 60% रेजिड्यू कवर इनमें ज्यादा रखना पड़ेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि उसमें जो स्लोप्स है वो स्टीपी है, तो जो आपकी सॉइल इरोजन है या वाटर इरोजन है वो ज्यादा होगी, तो उसको रोकने के लिए 50 to 60% कवर इज मस्ट। तो यूएसडीए अपनी जो एसोसिएशन है वो रिकमेंड करती है कि यूजिंग द लाइन ट्रांजैक्ट मेथड फॉर एस्टिमेटिंग एंड रिपोर्टिंग परसेंट रेजिड्यू कवर, भी लेयर वाइज लेयर जो हमने क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज है वो अरेंज कर रहे हैं। Also, this method involves simple field observations and measurements using 50 to 100 foot long measuring tapes. Measuring tapes यूज करके, लाइन यूज करके, रोक करके हम फील्ड मेजरमेंट्स ले सकते हैं। उस हिसाब से हमने कितना क्रॉप रेजिड्यू रखना है या कितना एरिया कवर करना है या कितने परसेंट ऑफ क्रॉप रेजिड्यू सॉइल सरफेस पे होना चाहिए, वो हम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। जैसे कि मैंने बात करी थी कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट मेन इसकी जरूरत क्यों पड़ी या क्यों इतना ये आज बात की जाती है, क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे मेजोरिटी ऑफ द फार्मर्स या जो हमारी कम्युनिटी, फार्मिंग कम्युनिटी है, वो क्या समझते हैं कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू को बर्न करना इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट बेस्ट मेथड, के हाँ इजी है, फार्मर के पास टाइम कम होता है तो ही फाइंड्स इट इजी के हाँ बर्न कर दो, ठीक है, फील्ड क्लीन हो जाएगा, क्लियर हो जाएगा, तो ही कैन गो फॉर नेक्स्ट स्विंग। पर उसको उसके इम्पैक्ट्स नहीं पता होते, अगर पता भी है तो वो अपने केयरलेसनेस कह लो या टाइम की वजह से कह लो या रिसोर्सेज की वजह से कह लो, वो मैनेज नहीं कर पा रहा, प्रैक्टिसेस अडॉप्ट नहीं कर पा रहा। पर अगर फार्मर करे तो दीज प्रैक्टिसेस आर वेरी बेनिफिशियल। क्योंकि जो हम क्रॉप रेजिड्यू बर्निंग करते हैं किसी भी क्रॉप का है, मोस्टली राइस के सीजन में बड़ी बात होती है कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू बर्न की जाता है, तो उसके जो मेजर नुकसान क्या है या इम्पैक्ट्स, लॉन्ग टर्म इम्पैक्ट्स क्या है? सबसे पहले आ गया पोल्यूशन, एयर पोल्यूशन, सॉइल पोल्यूशन, ठीक है। उससे क्या अफेक्ट, ह्यूमन हेल्थ अफेक्ट होती है, ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज एमिशन होती है, जो हमारा बर्न करते हैं उसके ग्रीन हाउस गैसेज एमिट होती हैं, एनवायरनमेंट वैसे ही उसका बैलेंस डिस्टर्ब होता है इकोसिस्टम का। उसके बाद लॉस ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स, नाइट्रोजन, फास्फोरस, पोटेशियम, सल्फर, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, अगर बर्न करते हैं तो देयर आर प्लेंटी ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स जो सीधे के सीधे बर्न हो जाते हैं हमारे उसमें, क्रॉप रेजिड्यू में। देन सॉइल में या जो हमारा रेजिड्यू है अपर उसमें या सॉइल के अपर लेयर्स में बहुत सारे अपने माइक्रोब्स होते हैं, बेनिफिशियल माइक्रोब्स होते हैं, जो एज डीकम्पोजर्स या सॉइल ग्रोथ रेगुलेटर्स एक्ट करते हैं। तो अगर हम बर्न करते हैं रेजिड्यू को सॉइल वहीं फील्ड पे, तो जो सॉइल के अपर लेयर्स में बेनिफिशियल सॉइल बैक्टीरियाज होते हैं, माइक्रोब्स होते हैं, वो सारे फिनिश होते हैं, वो मर जाते हैं। दूसरा, सॉइल हार्डनिंग एंड इरोजन ड्यू टू नो कवर। जब हम उसको बर्न करते हैं तो आपने कभी देखा भी होगा फील्ड पे, जब बर्न कर दिया जाए तो उसके बाद प्रॉपर पूरा हार्ड होता है फील्ड, कोई उस पर ज्यादा रेजिड्यू नहीं होता, प्लेन हो जाता है फील्ड। तो उससे क्या होती है कि डे बाय डे बर्निंग से साथ हमारी जो सॉइल है, सॉइल हार्डनिंग होती है, सॉइल की कॉम्पैक्टनेस बढ़ती जाती है, रिजिड हो जाती है सॉइल स्ट्रक्चर है जो। दूसरा क्या है? इरोजन है। इरोजन होगी क्यों? क्योंकि कोई कवर नहीं होगा, अगर कोई स्टीप स्लोप्स है या फ्लैट स्लोप्स है, रेनफेड एरियाज हैं, तो इरोजन चांसेस होते हैं ज्यादा। दूसरा, स्मोक एंड सूट पार्टिकल्स। ऑब्वियसली जब हम बर्न कर रहे हैं तो उसके जो स्मोक एंड सूट पार्टिकल्स है वो एयर में रिलीज हो रहे हैं, तो वॉट एयर पोल्यूशन हो रही है। उसके बाद आ जाता है मेजोरिटी रेजिड्यू कौन कौन सी स्टेट में या कौन कौन सी क्रॉप्स के बर्न किए जाते हैं बेसिकली। जैसे ये स्टेट वाइज है अल्फाबेटिकली। आंध्र प्रदेश में पैडी होगी, बिहार में पैडी एंड व्हीट होगी, छत्तीसगढ़ में व्हीट पैडी होगी, तो हमारा हरियाणा है साथ में, वो पैडी व्हीट हो गया, पंजाब में पैडी व्हीट, इवन शुगर केन के ट्रैश को या उसके रेजिड्यू को बर्न किया जाता है। राजस्थान में व्हीट होगी, पैडी होगी, मस्टर्ड बहुत सोई की जाती है राजस्थान में, उसका रेजिड्यू बर्न किया जाता है। तो ये अलग अलग स्टेट्स में जो मेजोरिटी देखो आप मेजर क्रॉप्स हैं जिनको हम ऑलमोस्ट न्यूट्रिएंट नीड उनकी वैसे ही ज्यादा है, पैडी हो, व्हीट हो, तो बाकी पल्सेस से या माइनर क्रॉप से वैसे ही इनकी न्यूट्रिएंट नीड ज्यादा है, तो इनको न्यूट्रिएंट्स वैसे ही ज्यादा डाले जाते हैं, और वही न्यूट्रिएंट्स, सारे न्यूट्रिएंट्स तो क्रॉप यूज करती नहीं है, तो वही न्यूट्रिएंट्स हमारी अगली क्रॉप के लिए या उस रेजिड्यू में रह जाते हैं जिनको हम ऐसे यूं ही बर्न कर देते हैं। तो यही न्यूट्रिएंट्स हम अगली क्रॉप के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं, अगर इन्हीं मेजर क्रॉप्स में ही हम स्टार्ट कर लें कि हमने रेजिड्यू बर्निंग नहीं करनी है। उसके बाद आ जाते हैं रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट के ऑल्टरनेटिव्स क्या है, अगर बर्निंग नहीं करनी है तो क्या करना है। लेक्चर 10-15 मिनट। नहीं, कैश 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 गुड कर देंगे, जल्दी आए, अगली गेम खेलेंगे, ठीक है। तो सॉरी फॉर द इनकन्वीनियंस। उसके बाद बात कर रहे थे हम कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू अगर बर्निंग नहीं करनी तो क्या करना है। तो मैनेजमेंट ऑल्टरनेटिव्स कौन कौन से हैं। जैसे मैंने आपको सबसे पहले बताया था कि इनकॉर्पोरेशन कर दो। सॉइल में अगर इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हैं तो उसके भी इनकॉर्पोरेशन के भी अलग अलग इम्प्लीमेंट्स आ गए हैं, मशीनरी आ गई है, ठीक है, सुपर सीडर्स आ गए हैं, स्मार्ट सीडर्स आ गए हैं, ठीक है, सरफेस सीडर्स आ गए हैं। वो क्या करते हैं कि एक तो इनकॉर्पोरेशन होती है सॉइल में, वो आपको कल्टीवेटर से इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दी, आपने डिस्कैरो फेर दिया, ठीक है, वो हो गया, इनकॉर्पोरेशन हो गई। दूसरा एक होता है इनकॉर्पोरेशन भी करना और साथ में रिटेन भी करना। जैसे सुपर सीडर, स्मार्ट सीडर्स हमारे, वो क्या करते हैं कि 50-60% जैसे कोई मेजोरिटी परसेंट उसको इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया, बाकी जो 20-30% है वो क्या है, उसको एज अ मल्च ऊपर भी छोड़ देते हैं। तो डबल बेनिफिट हो जाता है उसका कि इनकॉर्पोरेट भी हो जाता है रेजिड्यू, फील्ड पे भी ज्यादा नहीं रहता ऊपर, ताकि नई क्रॉप की जर्मिनेशन को कोई प्रॉब्लम ना आए। और ऊपर से जो हमारी ऊपर रह जाती है मल्च 20-30%, वो एज अ सॉइल सोलराइजेशन, वीड्स नहीं होने देती, क्रॉप सॉइल का और सीड का मॉइस्चर नहीं लॉस होने देती। वो बड़े तरह के बेनिफिट्स होते हैं, ठीक है। फिर इसको हम कंपोस्टिंग के लिए, कंपोस्ट तैयार करने के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं रेजिड्यू के। जैसे पैडी के स्ट्रॉ से हो गया या वीट के स्ट्रॉ से हो गया, अलग अलग हमारे कंपोस्ट तैयार होते हैं। कोई वर्मी कंपोस्ट है या कोई वर्मी वॉश है, अलग अलग कंपोस्ट तैयार कर सकते हैं हम। दूसरा इसके बाद आ गया, हम अगर स्टैंडिंग रेजिड्यू में ऐसे कर दें, तो जैसे हम जीरो टिल सोइंग करते हैं या हैप्पी सीडर के साथ सोइंग करते हैं। पंजाब में बहुत फार्मर्स अडॉप्ट करते हैं इसको, हैप्पी सीडर टेक्नोलॉजी को, एंड कई बेल्ट्स हैं जहाँ पे फार्मर्स हैप्पी सीडर टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करे करके बिना क्रॉप रेजिड्यू बन के हुए अच्छी वीट की यील्ड भी प्राप्त कर रहे हैं और एनवायरनमेंट को भी सेफ गार्ड कर रहे हैं। साथ के साथ जो उनकी वीट को न्यूट्रिएंट रिक्वायरमेंट है वो भी उनको कम देनी पड़ रही है, क्योंकि 2-3 साल अगर लगातार करते हो आप, तो उससे आपके न्यूट्रिएंट डिमांड है सॉइल की, वो बहुत पूरी हो जाती है। देन इनकॉर्पोरेशन होगी, डायरेक्ट सीडिंग होगी। फिर उसके बाद आ गया, हम जनरली बात करें भी इसको फॉडर या अदर पर्पसेज के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। इसी क्रॉप रेजिड्यू को हम अपने कैटल को रियर करने के लिए फॉडर की तरह यूज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। कोई साइलेज पर्पसेज के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं, हे पर्पसेज के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद ये तो आगे फील्ड पे। उसके बाद आ जाते हैं कि दो मेजर, हम इसको क्या कर सकते हैं, बेलिंग कर सकते हैं। इसकी बेलर मशीन्स, आप आई थिंक एवरीवन वुड बी फेमिलियर विद द मशीन्स। बेलिंग मशीन्स आती हैं, उससे क्या क्या बेल्स बन जाती हैं, इसकी राउंड या रेक्टेंगुलर बेल्स बन जाती हैं, जो कि आगे आप सेल कर सकते हो, या पेपर इंडस्ट्री में या टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री में कहीं भी यूज होती हैं, जिनसे बहुत सारे इनके कोई पेपर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, टेक्सटाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग या अलग अलग चीजें इनसे तैयार की जाती हैं। या बहुत सारी इंडस्ट्रीज, फैक्ट्रीज में ये सोर्स ऑफ बर्निंग भी यूज होती है। वहीं जो उनको ऑयल का या फॉसिल फ्यूल्स या कोला बर्न की बजाय ये यूज करते हैं वो लोग। एंड एट द लास्ट की है कि बायोचार, जो हम इससे बायोचार बना सकते हैं, जो एज अ सोर्स ऑफ हमारे फॉडर हो सकता है, ठीक है। दूसरा, इससे बायोगैस तैयार हो सकती है, बायोगैस प्लांट बना के उसमें पराली चार हम यूज कर सकते हैं, पैडी स्ट्रॉ यूज कर सकते हैं। तो ये डिफरेंट यूजेस हैं, बहुत से यूजेस हैं जो इजी एंड कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव हैं, कि हम इजीली इनको अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं। तो डबल बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं, एक तो हम अपनी इन्वायरमेंट को और क्रॉप को, फील्ड को सेफ गार्ड कर सकते हैं, सॉइल की हेल्थ बचा सकते हैं, ऊपर से हम अपने इससे मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स भी ले सकते हैं। मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स इन द सेंस, अगर आप इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हो या मल्च यूज करते हो या जीरो टिलेज यूज करते हो, तो आपका वैसे ही सेकंड क्रॉप को जो न्यूट्रिएंट डोसेज है वो कम देनी पड़ेगी, उन पे भी आपकी मॉनेटरी कॉस्ट है जो बचेगी, ठीक है। वाटर की भी आपकी बचत होगी। दूसरा क्या है कि जो अगर मॉनेटरी अदर वेज है, बेलिंग बनाते हो तो आप सेल कर सकते हो, ठीक है, वो चीज यूज हो सकती है। बायोगैस प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हो, या सोलर गीजर्स, आपने सॉरी सोलर गीजर बोल रहा हूँ, जो होममेड गीजर्स है नॉर्मल, वो पानी गर्म करने के लिए, उनमें यूज हो सकती है ये चीज, ठीक है। तो इसके काफी सारे बेनिफिट्स हैं। उसके बाद आ जाता है टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन। अगर हमने क्रॉप रेजिड्यू करनी है मैनेजमेंट, इसकी स्ट्रेटजीज बनानी है, तो इसके लिए टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंटरवेंशन क्या है। पहली तो रिटेंशन ऑफ क्रॉप रेजिड्यू एज अ मल्च और इनकॉर्पोरेशन इन सॉइल। वो अलग अलग इम्प्लीमेंट्स हैं, सुपर सीडर, स्मार्ट सीडर, सरफेस सीडर, जिनसे आप इसको एज अ मल्च भी छोड़ सकते हो और इनकॉर्पोरेट भी कर सकते हो। उसके बाद सेम वही कि आप क्रॉप रेजिड्यू को कंपोस्ट, वर्मी कंपोस्ट बना सकते हो। ठीक है, फार्म यार्ड मेन्योर मिक्स करके बना सकते हो आप। क्रॉप रेजिड्यू यूटिलाइजेशन मशरूम कल्टीवेशन के लिए ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप पैडी स्ट्रॉ में उसको एज मशरूम कल्टीवेशन में सोर्स यूज कर सकते हो। इसको पैडी स्ट्रॉ को या अपनी कोई भी व्हीट स्ट्रॉ या पैडी स्ट्रॉ, उसको सीधा मशरूम कल्टीवेशन में भी यूज किया जा सकता है। और अगर अब मैं बोलूँ कि उससे मैं कंपोस्ट तैयार कर लूँ, तो उसी कंपोस्ट को भी फॉर मशरूम रियरिंग यूज किया जा सकता है। उसके बाद इंसेंटिव परचेज ऑफ इम्प्रूव्ड मशीनरीज टू इंश्योर मिनिमम लेफ्ट ओवर। वही जो इम्प्रूव्ड मशीनरीज है वो हम यूज कर सकते हैं, उसकी जरूरत है मशीनरी की इंटरवेंशन की, कि वो मशीन यूज करी जाए ताकि हमारा जो क्रॉप रेजिड्यू है वो मैक्सिमम फील्ड पे यूज हो जाए या उसको कैरी किया जाए रादर देन बर्निंग। उसके बाद लास्ट आ गया इम्प्रूवमेंट इन कंबाइन हार्वेस्टर फॉर इन सिटू मैनेजमेंट। दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। जैसे कंबाइन हार्वेस्टर में जो हमारी इंप्रूवमेंट की गई है इन सिटू में, जिसके साथ तभी बोलते हैं कि हार्वेस्टिंग करनी चाहिए जिसके साथ एसएमएस लगा हो। ठीक है जी, कंबाइन हार्वेस्टर विद ए एसएमएस, वो क्या काम करता है कि वो हमारी जो हार्वेस्टिंग होती है, हार्वेस्टिंग होने के बाद आपने देखा होगा फील्ड पे वो साथ के साथ काटता भी जाता है फील्ड को, और उसको सब जगह स्प्रेड भी करता जाता है, अपना स्प्रेड करता जाता है सारे फील्ड पे, ताकि जो पैडी है जो यूनिफॉर्म स्प्रेड हो जाए। उसके बाद आ जाते हैं कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग अवेयरनेस जनरेशन। कैसे हम अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग के लिए? उसके लिए क्या है कि हमें कुछ लोकल लेवल पे या फार्म लेवल्स पे या विलेज लेवल्स पे या ब्लॉक या यू कैन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल्स पे हमें फार्मर्स के लिए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स जनरेट करने चाहिए। और बहुत यूनिवर्सिटीज वगैरह कर भी रही हैं, पीएयू कर रही है, बाकी अदर स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटीज कर रही हैं, या कोई प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भी कर रहे हैं, जैसे me also working in a private organization. Our focus is to basically reduce the crop residue burning emissions, and also as well as follow the organic agriculture practices. Also, another one is establishment of custom hiring centers through self-help group of unemployed youth by providing subsidy. This is also an important aspect. कस्टम हायरिंग सेंटर्स स्टार्ट किए जा सकते हैं, जिसके से क्या है कि अनएम्प्लॉयड यूथ है उनको जो हम सब्सिडीज दे के, इस सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स बना के उस पर सब्सिडीज दे के, तो वो मैनेज कर सकते हैं इस चीज को, उनको बकायदा एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिलेगी। तो लास्ट आ गया डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन ऑफ क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज। क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट की जो टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं उनकी डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन मस्ट है, क्योंकि कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी बिना देखे या बिना प्रैक्टिस होते हुए उसको अडॉप्ट करना मुश्किल होता है। तो ये कर भी रहे हैं और आगे भी, और जो अगर कहना बड़ा इजी होता है कि हाँ ये नहीं होगा, ऐसे कैसे हो जाएगा, अगर करना चाहो तो हो सकता है। बहुत लोग कर रहे हैं, पंजाब में बहुत बेल्ट्स में कर रहे हैं लोग, अदर स्टेट्स में भी कर रहे हैं, जो हमारे एक हैप्पी सीडर यूज कर रहे हैं या सुपर सीडर यूज कर रहे हैं, सरफेस सीडर यूज कर रहे हैं वीट की सोइंग के लिए। तो ये चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं जो यूज की जा सकती हैं, जिनके बहुत बेनिफिट्स हैं, रादर देन सेइंग कि हाँ बस कोई बात नहीं इसको बर्न कर दो ठीक है। उसके बहुत ज्यादा डीमेरिट्स हैं बर्निंग के। उसके बाद एक आ जाता है बायोफ्यूल प्रोडक्शन फ्रॉम क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज। जैसे मैंने पहले ही बात करी बायोचार और बायोगैस की, तो बहुत सारे बायोफ्यूल्स तैयार किए जा सकते हैं इसकी बर्निंग करके। जैसे एक एक्सपेरिमेंटल डाटा ऑब्टेन किया गया था, उन्होंने बताया कि ऑर्गेनोसॉल पेनिट्रेटेड राइस स्ट्रॉ को यूज करके उन्होंने एक कोलेट्रल राइस स्ट्रॉ यूज करके एक बायो हाइड्रोजन की प्रोडक्शन करी गई, जिसकी एस्टिमेटेड प्रोडक्शन 249 मिलियन टन थी, जो कि अप्रोक्सीमेटली प्रोड्यूस कर सकती 249 में मिलियन टन की जो बायोफ्यूल की थी वो प्रोड्यूस कर सकती थी 355.78 किलो टन ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एंड 11.32 मिलियन टन ऑफ लिग्निन बाय दिस यूजिंग राइस स्ट्रॉ। तो इससे क्या था कि इट वाज फाउंड के चाइना अकेला ही कंट्रीब्यूट्स टू 32% ऑफ ग्लोबल पोटेंशियल कैपेसिटी टू प्रोड्यूस बायोहाइड्रोजन फ्रॉम राइस स्ट्रॉ। तो बायोफ्यूल प्रोडक्शन का भी बहुत अच्छा सोर्स है ये क्रॉप रेजिड्यू हमारे लिए। उसके बाद आ जाता है क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट इन रेनफेड एग्रीकल्चर। रेनफेड एग्रीकल्चर में तो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट। क्यों? क्योंकि वहां पे रेन्स रेन ज्यादा है, जो एनुअल रेनफॉल है वो ज्यादा है, तो उससे क्या होता है कि जो इरोजन चांसेस है, अगर स्टीपी स्लोप्स हैं तो सॉइल एज वेल एज वाटर इरोजन, नहीं तो फ्लैट लैंड्स पे वाटर इरोजन तो मेजर प्रॉब्लम है। उसके लिए एक बहुत अच्छा आउटकम कह सकते हो, या एक बहुत अच्छा सोर्स है ये क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट। जैसे क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट हेल्प्स इन कंट्रोलिंग लॉस ऑफ वाटर थ्रू रन ऑफ, इट इंक्रीजेस इन फिल्ट्रेशन एंड डिक्रीजेस वाटर इवेपोरेशन लॉसेस, कम करते हैं सॉइल से। इट कंट्रोल्स वीड, सॉइल सोलराइजेशन का काम करती है, वीड्स कंट्रोल करती है, सॉइल टेम्परेचर कंट्रोल रहता है, एक रेडिएशन शील्डिंग हो जाती है जब उसकी मल्च यूज होती है। तो उसके बाद इट एड्स सॉइल न्यूट्रिएंट्स टू थ्रू ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, इट इम्प्रूव्स मिनरल सॉल्युबिलिटी, सॉइल स्ट्रक्चर, सॉइल बायोलॉजिकल एंजाइम्स थ्रू ऑर्गेनिक मैटर एडिशन। ऑर्गेनिक मैटर जब सॉइल में ऐड होगा, डीकम्पोज होगा क्रॉप रेजिड्यू, तो जो सॉइल की स्ट्रक्चर है या बायोलॉजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज हैं वो भी डेफिनेटली सॉइल की इंप्रूव होंगी, क्योंकि उसको उसके न्यूट्रिएंट सोर्सेज मिल रहे हैं जो कि ऐसे ही बर्न हो रहे थे। उसके बाद आगे क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज एंड मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस। जैसे हमने बात करी है कि कौन कौन सी प्रैक्टिसेस है, इसमें दो तीन प्रैक्टिसेस ऐड करी है। पहले होगी भी क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज की प्रैक्टिसेस कौन कौन सी फॉलो करते हैं, किस तरह मैंने करना प्रेफर करते हैं। फार्मर तो गोज फॉर बर्निंग, सेकंड इज इनकॉर्पोरेशन, फिर डायरेक्ट ड्रिलिंग है, ड्रिलिंग इन सरफेस रेजिड्यूज, ये होता है कि डायरेक्ट ड्रिलिंग कर देते हैं नेक्स्ट क्रॉप की सीधे सरफेस रेजिड्यू। फिर अंडरसोइंग क्रॉप्स होती है, अंडरसोइंग क्रॉप्स होती हैं कोई हमें मतलब किसी स्ट्रॉ में कोई हम लेग्यूम्स की सोइंग करनी या किसी फॉडर की करनी। उसके बाद बेलिंग एंड रिमूविंग क्रॉप रेजिड्यूज। पहले आगे रेजिड्यू बर्निंग। रेजिड्यू बर्निंग जैसे कि हम फेमिलियर हैं एवरीबॉडी के, रेजिड्यू दिन भर दिन फार्मर बर्न करता है, तो उससे क्या है कि जो हमारी सॉइल की, जो एयर की या वाटर की, हर चीज की पोल्यूशन होती है, जिसको रोककर अगर इसको मैनेज किया जाए फील्ड पे, तो ही कैन गेट बेटर आउटकम्स। दूसरा आ जाता है सरफेस रिटेंशन ऑफ क्रॉप रेजिड्यू। सरफेस रिटेंशन कैसे, जैसे जीरो टिलेज ही लगा लो आप, ठीक है, या सरफेस सीडर टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर सकते हैं। तो उससे क्या होता है कि सर को अगर इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है तो आप इनकॉर्पोरेट भी कर सकते हो, उसके भी बेनिफिट्स हैं। और अगर आप कोई स्मार्ट सीडर या सरफेस सीडर यूज कर सकते हो तो करते हो, तो उसके उससे क्या होता है कि मेजोरिटी 50-60% आउट, ऑलमोस्ट 70% तक जो का हमारा क्रॉप रेजिड्यू वो इनकॉर्पोरेट हो जाता है। और जो बाकी बचता हमारा 30 से 35% है, 30%, वो एज अ सॉइल मल्च अपने अपर सरफेस पे रिटेन हो जाता है। देन इज क्रॉप रेजिड्यू इनकॉर्पोरेशन। आप देख सकते हो मशीनरी खड़े हुए स्टॉक को ऐसे अपने क्रॉप रेजिड्यू को सीधा ही वो इनकॉर्पोरेट कर रही है, जो कि अल्टीमेटली डीकम्पोज होकर सॉइल को न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रोवाइड करेगा। और ये सबसे बेस्ट क्या है कि इनकॉर्पोरेशन कॉस्ट एनर्जी है, कॉस्ट है, एनर्जी है, टाइम है, intensive है ये। Application of rice residue to wheat typically has small effect on wheat yields during the short term। और इसमें क्या है कि आप मतलब फार्मर बोलते भी हैं ऐसे कि हमने किया जी, कोई फायदा तो हुआ नहीं, वीट अच्छी नहीं हुई या वीट उतने ही न्यूट्रिएंट्स डालने पड़े। तो हर चीज का ना एक ट्रांजिशन पीरियड होता है। जैसे ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग भी इट टेक्स 2 to 3 years टू टू रीच टू एक ऑप्टिमम लेवल। उसी तरह इसमें भी क्या, शॉर्ट टर्म एक 1 से लेके 3 साल में देखोगे कि एक सिर्फ अपने राइस रेजिड्यू अप्लाई करने से ही वीट की प्रोडक्टिविटी में अच्छे रिजल्ट्स आएंगे, और आपके मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स जैसे कि यूज ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स कम हो गए, वो चीजें होंगी। तो फोर्थ ईयर के जो हमारा होगा वीट का, उसके आप देख सकेंगे हमें रिजल्ट्स मिलने शुरू हो जाएंगे। उसके बाद फैक्टर्स अफेक्टिंग क्रॉप रेजिड्यू डीकम्पोजिशन। इस जो क्रॉप रेजिड्यू जैसे इनकॉर्पोरेट तो कर दिए, अब उसके बाद डीकम्पोज होना है क्रॉप रेजिड्यू ने इनकॉर्पोरेट किए हुए ने, तो उसके कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स हैं जो उनको इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं। काइंड ऑफ प्लांट रेजिड्यूज, किस तरह का प्लांट रेजिड्यू है, किसी हार्डी प्लांट का रेजिड्यू है या किसी सॉफ्ट स्टेम का प्लांट का रेजिड्यू है, तो उस हिसाब से उनकी डिकम्पोजिशन भी वेरी करेगी। जो हार्डी क्रॉप होगी वो थोड़ा ज्यादा टाइम लेगी डिकम्पोज। फिर एडिफिक फैक्टर्स हो गए जो कि एनवायरमेंट फैक्टर्स हो गए, सॉइल फैक्टर्स हो गए, फिर राइस मैनेजमेंट फैक्टर्स हो गए। आपने कौन कौन से राइस मैनेजमेंट की स्ट्रेटजीज यूज की हुई है, क्या क्या तरीका यूज किया हुआ है आपने। उसके बाद आ जाती है डायरेक्ट ड्रिलिंग इन सरफेस मल्ड एंड अनमल्ड रेजिड्यू। ये क्या प्रैक्टिस के लीव्स जो स्ट्रॉ रेजिड्यूज फ्रॉम प्रीवियस क्रॉप आर ऑन द सॉइल सरफेस, उसको विदाउट किसी इनकॉर्पोरेशन के हम खड़े हुए सीड में सीधी डायरेक्ट सीडिंग कर देते हैं हम, ठीक है, जैसे हमारी जीरो टिलेज होगी। उसके बाद आ जाते हैं अंडर सोइंग क्रॉप्स। जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था, इट इन्वॉल्व्स ईदर अंडर सोइंग अ सीरियल क्रॉप विद क्लोवर, और ड्रिलिंग ग्रास, फॉरेज, लेग्यूम्स, और ग्रीन मेन्योर्स इनटू अ सीरियल स्टबल। इन क्रॉप्स को सो करना एक सीरियल स्टबल में, उसको अंडर सोइंग कहते हैं। जिसमें के जो जैसे फॉडर क्रॉप्स की ही बात कर लें, तो हमें बहुत सारी न्यूट्रिशन फॉडर के लिए इसी रेजिड्यू से मिल जाएगी। उसके बाद ग्रेजिंग एनिमल्स आर आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट इन दिस सिस्टम। क्यों? क्योंकि वो भी यूजली ग्रेज ऑफ ट्रैम्पल द सीड आफ्टर दे हार्वेस्ट तो कर देंगे। तो उनको भी जो हमारी एज अ सोर्स ऑफ कैटल रियरिंग वो भी यूज होता है। एंड न्यूट्रिएंट की जो रिसाइकलिंग है वो भी होती है। क्यों? क्योंकि वो इसको कंज्यूम करते हैं, वो खाते हैं, वही उसकी उनकी डंग में जाता है, और वही उनकी जो काउ डंग है या कैटल डंग है, वही हम एज अ FYM या फील्ड में यूज करते हैं न्यूट्रिएंट सोर्स, या उनके यूरिन रिटर्न्स वो यूज कर सकते हैं। तो वही चीजें अल्टीमेटली एक साइकिल रिपीट हो जाता है। उसके बाद आगे बेलिंग एंड रिमूविंग स्ट्रॉ। इसमें क्या है कि मशीन्स लगाओ, बेलिंग हो जाती है। बेलिंग मशीन्स आती हैं, वो क्या राउंड भी बना देती हैं उसके, जो हम गत्तियां बोलते हैं, या एक रेक्टेंगुलर अपने बना देते हैं उसको, थब्बे बना देते हैं। तो उससे क्या वो आगे तो कोई इंडस्ट्री में यूज होते हैं, या ऑन फील्ड भी सेल हो जाते हैं। ऑन फील्ड भी पर क्विंटल्स के हिसाब से वो चीज सेल करके आप फार्मर एक मॉनेटरी रिटर्न्स ले सकता है, एक एक्स्ट्रा प्रैक्टिस करके, रादर देन के उसको बर्न करके सारे न्यूट्रिएंट सोर्सेज खराब करने से। दूसरा, जैसे हमें सरप्लस स्ट्रॉ फ्रॉम एग्रीकल्चर स्पेशली पुअर क्वालिटी में भी यूज फॉर नंबर ऑफ यूजफुल। अगर कोई सरप्लस स्ट्रॉ भी है, जैसे मान लो लेस न्यूट्रिशियस स्ट्रॉ है, या कोई वैसी क्रॉप का स्ट्रॉ है, उसको भी हम एक यूजफुल पर्पस में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं। जैसे स्टॉक फीड हो सकती है, फ्यूल के लिए यूज हो सकता है, ठीक है, बिल्डिंग मटेरियल के लिए, लाइफ स्टॉक की बेडिंग के लिए यूज हो सकती है। ये बहुत अच्छा सोर्स है, क्योंकि वो उनके लिए बहुत एक प्रॉपर सॉफ्ट बेडिंग प्रोवाइड करती है कैटल के लिए। फिर मशरूम कल्टीवेशन के लिए जैसे मैंने बताया कंपोस्टिंग होगी। फिर स्ट्रॉबेरीज कल्टीवेशन, अगर जहाँ कोई वेजिटेबल क्रॉप्स करते हैं, कुकम्बर हो गया, मेलन्स हो गए, या कोई हम दूसरी अपनी कुकर बिट्स करते हैं, तो उनमें भी यूज हो सकती है ये। In addition to these, crop residues help in increasing or maintaining soil organic matter and soil structure. Ultimately उसी को improve करते हैं। जब हम उसमें एक decomposed raw material ऐड होता है, तो अल्टीमेटली सॉइल की ऑर्गेनिक मैटर और ऑर्गेनिक कार्बन इंप्रूव होती है। उसके बाद आगे कंक्लूजन्स। कंक्लूजन में फाइनली यही है कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट एंड टिलेज जो दोनों है ना, वो एनवायरनमेंट को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं। और क्यों? क्योंकि इन्वायरमेंट में जो न्यूट्रिएंट लॉसेस हो रहे हैं क्रॉप रेजिड्यू बर्निंग से, वो बहुत ज्यादा है। तो उसको सीधा डायरेक्टली कंट्रोल करते हैं, और ऊपर से सॉइल की एक अच्छी टिल्थ मेंटेन करते हैं फील्ड की, जिससे क्या जो एनवायरमेंटल पोल्यूशन रिड्यूस होती है, जो एक एक बड़ा पब्लिक कंसर्न है। दूसरा, अवेयरनेस रिगार्डिंग प्रोग्रेसिव डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ सॉइल्स हैज लेड टू सर्च। दूसरा क्या है कि जो आजकल अवेयरनेस बहुत होगी, जैसे मैंने बताया कि यूनिवर्सिटीज बहुत वर्क कर रही हैं, तो इसमें अगर हम और भी वर्क करें, अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करें फार्मर्स पे, तो उस तरह से बहुत क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट की तरफ फार्मर को या फार्मिंग कम्युनिटी को ले जाया जा सकता है। क्यों? क्योंकि आजकल जो नई फार्मिंग कम्युनिटी है या यूथ है, तो वो पढ़े लिखे हैं, ठीक है, इस चीज को समझ सकते हैं, बुक रीडिंग कर सकते हैं, आर्टिकल्स पढ़ सकते हैं। तो उनको पता है कि अगर कोई बात चल रही है या बर्निंग टॉपिक है, तो इट्स कॉजिंग ए प्रॉब्लम टू द सोसाइटी ओवरऑल। सो उसको कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है। लास्ट क्या है, सॉइल क्वालिटी इंप्रूव होती है बाय अडॉप्शन ऑफ प्रॉपर क्रॉप रेजिड्यू मैनेजमेंट प्रैक्टिसेस। अगर इंप्रूव करते हैं, तो ओवरऑल सॉइल एंड एयर क्वालिटी, फील्ड की कंडीशन इंप्रूव होती है। आप देखोगे, जैसे मैंने बताया, तीसरे से चौथे साल में आपकी अपकमिंग क्रॉप की या पूरे क्रॉप रोटेशन की, क्रॉप साइकिल की जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है, वो एक हेल्दी प्रोडक्टिविटी, हायर रिटर्न्स होंगे, और आपको अच्छे आउटकम्स मिलेंगे। And also the crop residues and their management influence the biological nitrogen fixation। ऑटोमेटिकली नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन को भी अफेक्ट करेंगे। क्यों? क्योंकि इसकी जब डिकम्पोजिशन होगी, तो नाइट्रोजन के जो सोर्सेज हैं वो सॉइल में बढ़ेंगे, तो उससे नाइट्रोजन फिक्सेशन है जो, वो जो ज्यादा ऑल्टर होगी नाइट्रोजन की, इनऑर्गेनिक नाइट्रोजन कंसेंट्रेशन और ऑर्गेनिक सोर्सेज में कन्वर्ट हो गई। अल्टीमेटली जो अवेलेबल नाइट्रोजन है प्लांट को, वो अवेलेबल होगी। और ऊपर से जो एक्सेस न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं उनकी, या कोई टॉक्सिक केमिकल्स हैं उनकी फाइटोटॉक्सिसिटी है जो, वो रिड्यूस होगी। So at last, this was all about crop residue management, and I'll appeal everyone to go through the lecture as well as also uh, indulge yourself as well as also focus the on awareness among the farmers and creating another different opportunities for farming communities so that we can overall manage the crop residue because it is one of the most uh, बर्निंग टॉपिक इन दीज डेज कि क्रॉप रेजिड्यू हमें मैनेज करना है क्योंकि अगर नहीं मैनेज होगा या ऐसी ही बर्निंग चलती रहेगी तो डे बाय डे इसके कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस बहुत हार्श होंगी तो आई रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन टू go through the topic and share your views on this. You can share here also your views, or if anybody else is now willing to ask question or wants to ask anything, you are welcome.
Dear participants, our chat box is open. So those who are interested, ask any question, have any query, please ask in our chat box.
हाँ जी, anybody? Kindly feel free to ask questions or anyone wants to discuss on any topic on about crop residue or different machinery practices or else feel free.
सर क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहे हैं चैट बॉक्स में.
हाँ जी, I'm typing.
सर इफ पॉसिबल आप इंटरेक्ट बच्चों के साथ बाय ऑडियो भी कर सकते हैं, लाइक इट विल बी
हाँ
डिफिकल्ट
जी,
फॉर यू
नहीं
टू
हो गया
राइट
मैम।
डाउन।
हाँ नहीं नहीं, इट्स ओके, कोई गल नहीं, हो गए बस। और रहेगा एक रहेगा बस। इधर बैठे। हाँ जी मैम, एक्सक्यूज मी।
Yes, sir.
हाँ जी मैम, हो गए क्वेश्चंस ਤਾਂ ਤੇ क्वेश्चंस आर डन। somebody is asking for sharing the PPT. Ganesh,
Yes sir, आप शेयर कर देना, हम आगे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को शेयर कर देंगे.
okay. I'll
Yes,
share it.
yes
I'll
sir.
share it with you, and you kindly share it.
Yes sir. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you.
Your contribution made this session extraordinarily meaningful and memorable.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome.
Dear participants, next guest are joined very soon. Stay tuned. So now we welcome esteemed guest Dr. Murli Yadav, doctorate in horticulture from Allahabad, Executive Development Program on Strategic Management from IIM Kashipur, internationally certified crop advisor accredited by American Society of Agronomy. He started career horticulture scientist assistant professor, was engaged in research, teaching, extension activities. He published more than 36 research papers in different national and international peer-reviewed impact factor journals and 85 research abstracts in different national and international conferences. Achievements: Indian Certified Crop Advisor, got second prize in Gandhian autobiography in elocution and debate in university level. Training on nutrient and plant protection management on pomegranate by NRCP Solapur. 15-day trainings on train by the trainee by Delhi and Karnia. So it's an honor for us, sir. You are here. I welcome you, sir.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You are audible.
Yeah, now you can start.
Okay.
Sikha, you can start now.
Yes, sir. Yes. So now we welcome esteemed guest Dr. Murli Yadav, doctorate in horticulture from Allahabad and Executive Development Program on Strategic Management from IIM Kashipur, internationally certified crop advisor accredited by American Society of Agronomy and outcome oriented with more than 21 years of experience in agriculture university and agri-industry research, new production strategy and technical guidance. He has started career as a horticulture scientist, assistant professor, and was engaged in research, teaching, extension activities. His achievements: Indian certified crop advisor, training on nutrient and plant protection management, 15 days training on train the trainer by Delhi and Calgary. So it's an honor for us, sir. You are here, and I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Sikha, and welcome to all the participants in this training forum. I would like to thank to Just Agriculture because he has given a platform to interact with all the knowledgeable participants. So today we will discuss about the next level approach towards smart farming, innovation, and agri-entrepreneurship. First, we should think on why there is need of smart farming, why there is need of innovation, and why we will talk about the agri-entrepreneurship. If we'll go by the requirement, if you go by Amrit Kal, which is defined by Government of India, the requirement of either you talk about food grain production, you talk about horticulture production, you talk about cereals, milk, every aspect of agriculture. What is the requirement in 2047? So, if you wanted to achieve that much of production in 2047, then you have to go by the concept of smart agriculture, because we will discuss about what are the constraints. Due to that reason, if we will not go by this smart farming, we will not achieve this target. And if we will not go by if we will not achieve this target, in that case we can't serve uh, the growing population of India, because you know India's population is highest in world. So we have to feed the nations. We have to give the food, healthy foods to the nations. So if we will not go by this smart farming, if we will not go by innovation, then we can't reach this target. Because you see the target as per the Amrit Kal Bharat, which is defined by Government of India. Food grain, right now food grain production is 330 lakh million ton, and we have to reach 520 million tons in 2047. Same way food production right now 112 million ton is there, and we have to reach 244 million tons by 2047. Same way vegetable 207 is the production in current year, and we have to reach 405. So see how much, where we have to achieve, where we have to reach. And if you go by traditional farming, we can't achieve this target. And if you will not be able to achieve this target, in that case, we can't feed the nation, we can't provide the healthy food to the nation. And if you not increase the productivity, if wanted to increase the productivity, one, we have to go by smart farming, we have to go by innovation. Otherwise our farming will not be profitable, and if farming will not be profitable, nobody will go for farming. So everybody will move out from farming, because farming will be the lost venture. So we have to develop the smart farming, and we have to do the innovation, and whosoever is doing this farming, they have to adopt this smart farming concept. They have to adopt the innovation technology. Only then their farming will be profitable. So if you go by horticulture production trend in India, so you can see here what is the growth rate of horticulture production. If you see the growth rate of horticulture production, it is only 2.39% in current scenario. And if horticulture production grow by this rate, in that case we will not be able to achieve our target in 2047. So we have to go by smart farming. We have to adopt the innovation. Only then we can achieve the target of 2047. If you go by food production, right now 110, as I said, but if you see in which fruit crop this growth is happening, only apple, banana, grapes, mango, and watermelon growth is happening. But what about other crops? Why it is not increasing? Because we are not adopting the smart farming concept. We are not adopting the innovation technology. Due to that reason, in other crops, production is not increasing. So I have here written about all the crops. Either talk about onion. Onion is degrowth is happening. There is no growth in terms of production. If that things will not happen, then how we will achieve the target of 2047? If we talk about this potato, of course, in case of potato, growth rate is there. In case of tomato, there is no growth rate. So we have to think about this, how we can increase the productivity of all the horticultural crops, all the cereal crops, all the field crops, because we have to achieve the target of 2047, because that will be the requirement at that time. If we will not go by this smart farming, and if we will not improve our technology, in that case we will not be able to achieve our target. So first we should talk about, or I will talk about challenges. One is outside the agriculture challenge. What is the challenges outside the agriculture? If you talk about population is growing day by day, and we have highest population in world. So we have to feed the nation. Other things, if you go by arable land, that is decreasing day by day. And if we talk about water availability, it is also decreasing day by day. So this is the challenges outside the agriculture. So, but if wanted to improve the productivity, we have to optimize the use of water. We have to increase the arable land. We have to increase the productivity of the crop. Only then we can feed the growing population of India. So if you see the scenario, what is this in terms of food insecurity, or if you talk about malnutrition, talk about Asia. Out of 4,641 million population, 4,071 million population is having food insecurity problem, or you can say malnutrition problem. 471 million population is not getting the required quantity of food. So they are facing the challenges of malnutrition. So you can see here, talk about at world level, talk about Asia level, talk about other continent level, everywhere food insecurity problem is there. Means population are not getting the proper food requirement as well as nutrient enriched food. Due to that reason, so many diseases, population are suffering from so many diseases. If we talk about the population, for this, so many percentage of population is suffering from this vitamins problem. If you talk about the ferrous deficiency, there is population which is suffering from ferrous deficiency, zinc deficiency, protein deficiency, iodine deficiency, folate deficiency. Why it is so? Because we in soil, I will talk about this, why it is happening, why deficiency is happening, why population is suffering from these vitamins, these minerals. What is the reason? So now you talk about major challenges in agriculture, inside the agriculture. Why our productivity is not increasing? Because our soil is becoming poor. Soil is becoming sick. Due to that reason, nutrient response ratio is going down. If we talk about in 1960, nutrient response ratio was 13. Now, if we talk about nutrient response ratio, it is 3.7 only. Why it is so? Because our soil is not responding. Why soil is not responding? Our soil health is poor, becoming poor day by day. In terms of organic carbon, if we talk about Indian soil, 67% Indian soil is deficient in organic carbon. And you know, ki, organic carbon is the life of the soil. Life of the soil. If you wanted to make soil healthy, you have to improve the organic carbon. If organic carbon will happen, only then nutrient response ratio will go up. Otherwise, nutrient response ratio will not go up. If talk about pH, most of the soil pH is more than 7.5. We talk about especially west and south. There's the pH of the soil is becoming high, becoming more than 7.5. If soil pH will be more than 7.5, so many nutrients will not be available to the plant. So this is one of the reason the response ratio is coming down by down. And if you talk about calcium carbonate level, it is going up. If calcium carbonate level will go up, in that case, nutrient response ratio will be down. We talk about EC. EC is going up day by day. If EC will be more, then nutrient response ratio will go down. And second reason is farmers are not going by balanced nutrition concept. You can say they are not going by a smart agriculture concept. So there is imbalanced fertilization is there. So if imbalanced fertilization will be there, then farmers will not be able to get the more production per unit area. So other things ki in the soil there is multi-nutrient deficiency is happening because the reason behind is ki farmers are more focused on NPK nutrients only. They are not too much focused on secondary and they are not too much focused on micronutrient. Because initially this secondary and micronutrients was available in the soil, but in due course of time that is exhausted because on continuous basis plant is taking, but now it is already exhausted from the soil. If we talk about ferrous, talk about zinc, talk about the boron, talk about sulfur, these nutrients are deficient in soil. And if farmers will not put these nutrients in a balanced manner in addition to NPK, then productivity will not increase. And if farmers will not put this nutrient, then it will not come into the produce part. And if it will not come in the produce part, then whosoever population is eating that, they will not get this ferrous, zinc. As I talked about, there is deficiency of ferrous, there is deficiency of zinc. Zinc deficiency syndrome is coming in the population. Ferrous deficiency is coming in the population. So population has to take the medicine of that, tablet of that. So we have to go by the concept of smart farming, that is balanced nutrition concept that I will discuss in later on. So these are the challenges. One side, our soil health is poor, becoming poor day by day. Other things, farmers are not going by balanced nutrition concept. And if we talk about that, right nowadays, there is lot of hue and cry is happening in terms of climatic resilience. Why it is so? Why there is problem of climatic resilience? Because farmers are putting more nitrogen, more and more nitrogen. If you talk about Punjab, Haryana, the ideal ratio should be 4:2, 2:1 of NPK ratio. But if you talk about Punjab, the ratio is 61:19:1. See, it requires 4:2:1, but farmers are putting in a ratio of 61:19:1. So how much nitrogen they are putting? And you know ki the emission of nitrous oxide emission is responsible, is happening due to more use of nitrogen. So if you talk about how much agriculture is accounting for greenhouse gas emission, 18% greenhouse gas emission is happening due to agriculture only, from agriculture only of total emission. So at world level, agriculture is accounting 19 to 29%. So we have to go by the balanced nutrition concept. Only then we can reduce the quantity of nitrogen. Otherwise farmers are putting this nitrogen in a indiscriminate way. If farmers will use this nitrogen in a indiscriminate way, in that case this climatic resilience problem will be there. So the solution is, as I am talking about from the initial slide, we have to go by the smart agriculture. Now, what is the benefit of smart agriculture? What it will do? It will increase the productivity. It will enhance the resilience. It will reduce the emission. So if we will go by this smart agriculture, in that case, we will be able to achieve the target of the 2047 target. And we will be able to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. We can make the climate resilience. We can make the agriculture resilience. So what it says, what is balanced nutrition? Balanced nutrition is based on 4R principles. It ensures the application of fertilizers on 4R principles: right ratio, right dose, right method, right time, which results in sustenance of soil fertility, physical, chemical, and biological, and increase in crop productivity by increasing the nutrient use efficiency. By increasing the nutrient use efficiency, it also enhances the tolerance of plant to biotic and abiotic stresses. So this is the benefit of balanced nutrition. So we have to go by balanced nutrition concept. So I already discussed about this concept. So now thing is, there are two things. One is the conventional method, that is through soil application, we are doing the farming. In that, in conventional method, we have to go by balanced nutrition concept, or we have to go by customization of nutrient concept. Other thing, we have to move towards this fertigation concept. We have to move towards drip irrigation. We have to move towards fertigation concept. Only then we will be able to improve the productivity. We will be able to reduce the dose of nitrogen. Otherwise, we can't reduce the nitrous oxide greenhouse gas emission, nitrous oxide emission. So because you will be able to see here, if you are going by soil application concept, you should see the efficiency of different nutrients. Talk about nitrogen. Their efficiency through soil application is only 30 to 50%. Phosphorus is 16 to 20%. Potash is 50 to 60%. But when we are going towards drip plus soil application, nitrogen use efficiency is becoming 65%, phosphorus 30%, potash 60%. And when we move towards this fertigation concept, then nitrogen use efficiency becoming 95%, phosphorus 45%. Even you can achieve up to 65%. It depends on how efficient, how much efficient fertilizer you are using through drip. It depends on that, but you can achieve up to 65%. Potash, you can use efficiency, you can reach up to 80%. So next approach will be, in case of fertigation or soil application, next step should be customization of nutrient through water soluble fertilizer. Only then we will be able to improve the productivity. We can minimize the dose of nitrogen and other nutrients, and we can improve the use efficiency. So of course, advancement has happened in agriculture. We are not saying that advancement has not happened. Of course, advancement has happened. If we talk about initially, soil application was happening through traditional fertilizer, or you can say state fertilizer. But in due course of time, that state fertilizer converted into complex fertilizer. Of course, right now also farmers are using state fertilizer, but their percentage is less. Farmers are moving towards complex fertilizer. Then after that, fortification started in NPK fertilizer or NP fertilizer with secondary and micronutrient. Then after that, this fortification happened in the complex form. Just I can quote the example of Deepak fertilizer. Deepak fertilizer has developed the customized grade in complex form, where primary, secondary, and micronutrients are there in a complex form. And in that case, their use efficiency is much better in comparison to traditional fertilizer, state fertilizers. So advancement is happening. Then drip irrigation started. I will show you the fertilizer through soil application. But if you are doing the irrigation through drip, how much efficiency is, I already told you, due to only drip irrigation, how much efficiency is increasing. So that drip irrigation is started. Then after that, fertigation started. Water soluble fertilizer came in practice, especially in horticulture crops. And farmers started putting this water soluble fertilizer through drip, that is fertigation. Now, so many company, not so many, few company has come up with customized WSF grade as per the crop, as per their stage. Especially, I will put more focus on this concept because I have developed the crop specific, stage specific water soluble grades. Their efficiency is much higher. in comparison to separate application of water fertilizer through water soluble fertilizer through fertigation. And because here one thing is huge efficiency. Huge efficiency is much more in comparison to separate application of water soluble grades. And other things, the productivity is increasing much more, and produce are enriched with nutrients, enriched with all the multiple nutrients, where we found ki in produce there is no zinc, no boron, no iodine, no ferrous. But in this concept, what we are doing, whatever nutrients are required to the crops as per their stages, we are putting all the nutrients in a defined ratio. So the plants are getting all the nutrients as per their requirement, as per their stages, and that is also going the produce part. So produce is enriched with all the nutrients. So whosoever will eat that produce, they will get all the nutrients. So that will be in nutrient enriched produce. So there will be no health problem or malnutrition problem in that case. And last point, if wanted to improve further productivity, we have to go by, we have to tag this concept, customize concept with agtech technology. In that case, we can put the fertilizer on real time basis. So the plants will not suffer from any nutrient deficiency. If plant will not suffer in any point of time in terms of any nutrient deficiency, so naturally their productivity will be much more, their plant health will be much better in comparison to others. So just I am showing the benefit of fertigation. See here, you see the example left side bar chart. When we are moving towards soil application plus flood irrigation, towards this soil application plus drip plus fertigation, you can see how productivity is increasing. See, in comparison to soil application, here 44% productivity is increasing. See, you can see 144 tons against 207 tons. How much production has increased when we are moving towards fertigation? And parallelly, if you see the right side chart, there is for saving of 45% saving of this water. So see here how much saving of water, how much improvement in yield. And if you talk about increase in income, you see here when we are going towards fertigation, 100% fertigation, you can increase 1.99 rupees lakh per hectare. You can get almost 2 lakh per hectare extra benefit in comparison to soil application. So benefit, marginal cost benefit ratio is, you can go up to 82. Means when you are spending 1 rupees extra, in that case you will get 82 rupees extra in terms of benefit. So this is the benefit of technology. So now I will talk, as I said, I will majorly put focus on customization of water soluble grades as per the crop, as per the stage. The concept which we have developed and which I have commercialized, my company has commercialized, that is that technology is Solutech. Here we have developed the customized WSF grade as per the crop, as per the stages. We will talk about these grapes, pomegranate, banana, tomato, on all these crops. We will talk about what is the benefit if any farmer will go by this solution, what extra benefit they will go by, and what convenience they will get. Because in this concept, farmer has not to put so many fertilizer at a time. If we talk about grapes farmers are putting 2-3 fertilizer in a day just to meet the requirement. But because there is no one fertilizer or one product is available where all the nutrient is there which can cater the requirement of grapes, which where that product can cater the requirement of particular stage. That type of products are not there. But I have developed that type of customized WSF grade where all the nutrients are there uh, as per the crop, as per the ratio. The ratio is defined, dose is defined for that stage, how many applications they have to put, because you can't put water soluble grade in one dose. Otherwise, leaching loss will be heavy because it is directly available form. So leaching loss will happen and farmers will not get the benefit. So we have defined the ratio of each nutrient, and we have put all this nutrient in one product, and we have defined the total number of application as per their stages, and we have defined in one dose how much they have to put the dose, and what should be the interval between two application, so that leaching loss will be very less. So here, through this solution, farmer can save 62% nitrogen, 15 to 25% phosphorus and potash. And additionally, I will show you the slide where you will see farmer can get 35% yield improvement. So this is the benefit of technology. And here farmer has not to put so many product at a time. They have to go by weekly application of this type of blades. If you talk about grapes, what we have done, we have divided into 3 growth stages. We have divided the grapes crops into 3 growth stages, and accordingly we have developed the customized WSF grade. If we talk about first stage, that is vegetative stage, we have developed the formulation 15, 28, 6 plus others. Means here secondary nutrients are also there and micronutrients are also there. We have defined the ratio, what the ratio which required by the crop at this stage. All the nutrients are there. You can see we have defined the total quantity, how much quantity will be required in between 17 to 35 days after pruning. So they have to go by 11 kg per application, and they have to put 5 application during this period. If they will go by 5 application during this period at an interval of 7 days, the requirement of that of the crop for that stage will be fulfilled. There will be no deficiency of any nutrients, and balanced vegetative growth will happen. And if balanced growth will happen, then their crop performance, flowering will be effective. And if flowering will be effective, of course fruit setting will be effective. So at this stage, farmer has not to put so many product. Only one product will cater their requirement. So accordingly, flowering to fruit development stage, we have developed another formulation, that is 634-17 plus secondary and micronutrients. All nutrients are there. Whatever nutrients are required for that stage, that is there. And we have defined the period of application. It will go 36 to 85 days. So it will, and dose will be 80 days, 80 kg per acre. So, and every week they have to put only 11 kg per acre. So farmer has not to put so many product. They have not to put to so many application. So this is So accordingly, we have developed for grapes, we have developed for tomato, we have developed for pomegranate, we have developed for this banana. So we have defined everything, and we are not recommending so many products because all the nutrients are in each grades. So that is catering all the requirement of that crops for the particular stage. And only we have not defined the nutrient ratio. We have not defined the quantity of that grades. We have not defined the number of application. We have not defined the interval between two application. We have improved the features of the product, because suppose grape where it is grown majorly it is grown in Maharashtra, it is grown in Karnataka. These are two states, are major states where grapes are grown. And if you talk about pH of this pH of the soil of this state is more than 7.5. So nutrient availability is the problem. Calcium carbonate level is more than 2%, almost 8%, 15%, like that. And if you talk about EC is more than 1%. So what features we have developed? All the grades are acidic pH. So when it goes into the soil solution, it tries to normalize the pH or make it neutral almost. If pH will be normalized, in that case, all the nutrients, whatever nutrients are going through this grade, that will be available to the plant. If that will be available to the plant as their requirements, their performance will be better and their productivity will be better. And as I said, EC of the soil is more. So in our grade formulation, EC is almost zero. Chloride level is almost, in spite of government of India has permitted 1 to 1.5% chloride level. This depends on the grades. But in our case, since we wanted to improve the use efficiency, we have reduced this chloride level up to zero. So their use efficiency is much higher due to this negligible percentage of chloride. And whatever nutrients are there in that products, there is synergy among all the nutrients. If there will be synergy among all the nutrients, their efficiency will be much higher. And whatever nutrients we have put in that formulation, that is most efficient form. Suppose talk about sulfate form, talk about zinc. Zinc is in sulfate form also, zinc in chelated form also. But if we talk about the efficiency difference, chelated form is 6 times more efficient in comparison to sulfate form. So we have to put these nutrients in sulfate form. So due to that reason, their use efficiency is much higher. And we have properly defined the ratio of different form of nitrogen. So there is no excess quantity of, plants are not getting excess quantity of nitrogen or underdose of nitrogen. Due to that reason, balanced growth and development is happening. So these are the features which we have put into that formulation. Due to that reason, use efficiency is much higher in comparison to other fertilizers. So this is the simple schedule of uh, uh, our Solutech solution. So of course, we are putting 20% nutrient through soil application and 80% nutrient through fertigation. In case of soil application also, we have developed the customized solution. And in case of fertigation, we have developed stage-wise and crop-wise different formulation. And if you talk about soil application, we have customized formulation, that is 9-24-24. In that, secondary nutrients are there, micronutrients are there. So, and these formulation are in complex form, because if you go to market, 8 nutrients are there in this formulation, in soil applied formulation. But in case of this fertigation, whatever nutrient are required, that is there as per the requirement of the crop. So in case of these 8 nutrients, all are in complex form. So in each and every granules, all are 8 nutrients are there in a defined ratio. So if any granules is going to the plant, all nutrients, plant will get all 8 nutrients. That is the benefit of complex form of fertilizer. So as I was discussing about the features, this is the complete solution, the product which we are recommending in our solution. So in basal, as I discussed, we are recommending sulfur because pH of soil is very high, EC is very high, and this calcium carbonate is very high. So we are in soil application, we are recommending Croptech 92424 and Bensol Superfast or Bensol Zinc Plus Superfast in soil application. Just I would like to highlight what is the extra features in case of Bensol Superfast or Bensol Zinc Plus Superfast. What is the extra benefit features here? In general, if you go by normal bentonite sulfur, their disintegration happens after 20 to 25 days of application. And due to that reason, plants are not getting sulfur in the form of sulfate 20 or 25 days before. And either in case, because sulfur reduce the pH, reduce this calcium carbonate level and improve the soil structure. That doesn't happen 20 days before. This is the case in case of normal bentonite. In case of micronized sulfur, where particle size is very less, and powder sulfur, their disintegration happens early, but due to its very small particle size, that is available for a shorter period of time. So plants get the sulfur for shorter period, and pH reduction, this calcium carbonate reduction neutralization, and this soil structure improvement happens for shorter period. But in this case, in case of Bensol Superfast or Bensol Zinc Plus Superfast, this disintegration starts 3 to 4 days after application and continue for longer period up to crop cycle, full crop cycle. So pH reduction, calcium carbonate reduction, soil structure improvement continue to happen for up to full crop cycle. So if these things are happening for full crop cycle, nutrient uptake will be much more in comparison to other products. This is the extra benefit in case of this Bensol Superfast or Bensol. Croptech, I already said 8 nutrients are there in a defined ratio, and all nutrients are in complex form. And other things, we have used the nutrient unlock technology. There is one technology. Due to that reason, their huge efficiency is much higher in comparison to other. And this type of complex 8 nutrients are not in the market. So we are the first company who has developed this type of fertilizer. Now, in case of fertigation, as I told you, we have developed the formulation as per their crops, as per their stage, and all there is synergy between among all the nutrients, either macro, secondary, and micronutrient. So their huge efficiency is much higher, and all the nutrients are in very efficient form, and all the formulation is having low pH, low EC, and due to that reason, their efficiency is much higher. So what is the process in our case? First, we optimize the solution up to 3 years. If you see here, during our trial period, you can see 28% improvement over farmer practice, 37% improvement over farmer practice, 16% improvement over farm in terms of yield. And same thing we tested in case of NRC grape, because this is the solution of NRC grape. You can see first year 20%, second year 40%, 14% improvement in yield over NRC grape recommendation. So, and if you go by this, if you see the post-harvest soil status, in case of Solitech, post-harvest soil status is more enriched in comparison to RDF, because as I said, our all the grades are acidic, pH, EC is almost zero, calcium this product is reducing the calcium carbonate level, and all the nutrients are enriched in comparison to RDF. So same we have tested in case of tomato. If you go by here also, we have tested our solution at IHR Bangalore, Indian Institute of Horticulture Research. First, we optimize in-house our solution against the farmer practice and RDF. You can see the how much yield improvement is happening. After that, we have validated from IHR. You can see here yield improvement in terms of RDF. Against RDF yield level is 71 tons per hectare, but our solution yield level is 87, and second year 85 against 73. If you go by lycopene content also, you see in first year 148 mg per 100 gram, but in our solution 176 mg per 100. And you know ki tomato red color is due to lycopene content, and lycopene content acts as an antioxidant also. When human being is eating that, it acts as an antioxidant, means it has anti-carcinogenic effect. So, and you can see the post-harvest soil status. And I would like a same concept we have tested in IRI. Majorly, our objective was how much reduction in nitrous oxide emission. So, because here 62% nitrogen reduction is there against RDF, we are through this solution we are using less, 62% less nitrogen we are using. So you can see 45% nitrous oxide emission reduction is happening. And post-harvest soil status, if you go by, it is more in the post-harvest soil status is more enriched. And this is we have tested in IRI on tomato as well as onion. You can say in case of onion, minus 37%, means 37% reduction of nitrous oxide emission. And if you go by yield level, 45% yield improvement is happening. So same way we have evaluated this pomegranate and banana. And pomegranate we have tested in NRC pomegranate Solapur. 56% yield improvement is happening. Of course, nitrogen is 67% reduction in nitrogen against the RDF. Same way banana. So now we are working on how we can integrate this soil. We can enrich with organic manures. We can integrate with this fertigation and integrate with ag technology. If we can integrate all these three things together, we can sustain the soil health, we can improve the productivity, we can provide the nutrient enriched produce, we can improve the plant health, we can give the recommendation on real-time basis to the farmers, so that productivity will be much more higher in comparison to others technology. So here you can see the difference. If you go by this, seeing the difference, farmer practice, this left side, right side is Solitech solution. See the difference in tomato, pomegranate. See how much fruit is loaded in the tree of pomegranate. So this is all about from my side. Now session is open for the discussion. Yes, Shikha.
Yes, sir. Before concluding the session, dear participants, our chat box is open or so those who are interested ask a question in our chat box.
Anyone can ask any question. Dr. Sachin has asked the question, foliar application or soil application of nutrient is more beneficial in terms of nutrient use. See, foliar application is not the replacement of total requirement of nutrients for the particular crops. You can't replace the requirement of crops from foliar application. It is the additional additional quantity which is required at different critical growth stages, because at critical growth stages there is limitation from root. At that period, plant is not able to get the required quantity of nutrients. If you are providing the nutrients at that stage through foliar application, then complete requirement of the crop will be fulfilled. And if complete requirement of the nutrient will be fulfilled, in that case productivity will go up. And you should understand कि only 2% nutrient we can provide through foliar application. We can't provide more than 2% of nutrient through foliar application. Of course, in comparison to soil application, fertigation is the second option, where use efficiency is much higher in comparison to soil application. And I also told you, when you are going towards this customization of nutrient through water soluble fertigation, in that case, you can reduce the quantity of fertilizer. As I said, in our Solutech solution, we are able to reduce the 62% nitrogen against the RDF, and that we have tested through different ICR institute. Yes. Any more?
So, behalf of everyone here, I want to say big thank you, sir. Your contribution made this session extraordinary, memorable, and meaningful.
Okay, thank you, Sikar, for providing this platform to interact with all the participants.
Most welcome, sir.
Can I log out? Shikha, can I log out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am unable to hear.
So now we welcome a esteemed guest, Mrs. Arvinda is a seasoned chartered accountant with the over 17 year of extensive experience in tax of advisory services. Her professional journey has been marked by the diverse skill set and steadfast commitment to ethical business practices. Arvinda has consistently invested in continuous learning and development, acquiring certificates in international taxation. Her expertise extend to navigating global tax regulations, anti-money laundering laws, and embarrassing concepts like ESG and business responsibilities and sustainable report. A notable milestone in Arvinda's career is her appointment as the first chartered accountant by the MSME Council Ranga Reddy region in an expert advisory role. Her expertise mainly lies in income tax advisory services, tax assessments. Arvinda is enthusiastic about the opportunity bring her wealth of experience and diverse skill set to any esteemed organization, contributing to its growth and success. She is a regular speaker at various forums to enrich and empower the women. So it's an honor for us, ma'am. You are here and I welcome you, ma'am. You are not audible, ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible now.
Thank you so much. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. You can share.
Yeah. So the topic which we are discussing today is regarding the importance of the women in the agri business with regard to the Indian economy. Why we need more women in the agri business in India, and how the agri business is running in India, and what is the role the women can play to make the difference. So the area of discussion of today is regarding the role of the
Ma'am.
agriculture.
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Sorry?
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's visible.
Is this fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the area of discussion which we are going to discuss is regarding the role of the agriculture in the Indian economy. Why the women is needed in the agri business? What are the current scenarios? What is the need of the women? And what are the key strategies we require for empowering the women to come into the agriculture sector is concerned, in the agri startups? What is the importance, the challenges faced, and what are the opportunities available for them? So regarding the agriculture is concerned, it is contributing majorly to the GDP, which is around 70 to 20% of the Indian GDP. So majority of the population even today is working in the agriculture sector, majorly apart from the manufacturing is concerned. There is a huge scope for them to help the Indian economy and the GDP contribution through the agriculture sector is concerned. Regarding the food security, to meet the local needs and also to export the products and to handle the international food security is concerned, agriculture is one of the area where we can help the countries across the globe. Once we are self-sustained with the agriculture produce is concerned, we can start. We are also exporting so many items like the spices, rice, and all the things based on the requirement on the international market demands. The rural development can also happen only if the agriculture has been developed extensively. So the decentralization of the things also can happen if the rural areas are developed, so that there will not be any shifting of the people from the rural areas to the urban areas is concerned. The economic stability can also happen only if the employment is being provided and there is equal opportunities for the people to do the work which is available based on their expertise. What are the key strategies one can think of to empower the women to come into the agriculture sector is concerned? We have to provide the educational facilities and the skill developments which can help them to use the innovative ideas and the latest technologies to come into the agriculture sector. Gone are the days where the physical work is more required in the agriculture sector is concerned. Gender equality is one of the area where needs to be addressed when come to the women coming to the agriculture and the agriculture sector is concerned. And we have to ensure the land rights. Even nowadays, most of the lands will be in the name of the men in the family. So the opportunities and the land rights should also be given to the women along with the men, so that they have the equal rights over the land and they can take care and they can stand for their legal rights. There are cases where the financial services needs to be provided specifically for the women in an extensive way, which can help them to enter into the market. Because if the particular loan is required for a woman, the checklist or the prerequisites should be comparatively less compared to the other men, because all the women may not have all the collateral securities and all these things when they don't have the land rights and other things and the experience. So they should be provided adequate training facilities, and even the government should also come forward in a more aggressive way to help the women to come into the mainstream. So what is the need of the women entrepreneurs? If you see unless the women steps out and work in the current scenario, there is the chance of earning more revenue to the family will not happen. And women comprise of around 33% of the agricultural labor force, and in India, around 48% of the self-employment are farmers. So unless the NGOs and the CSR activities help the women to come out of their homes and work in these areas, it will not be possible for the women to come out. And the other thing is when you are into the agriculture sector is concerned, agripreneurs, they can work in their own rural areas instead of relocating and moving to the urban areas. It will actually help them to create the employment in the rural areas itself as against the urban areas, so that the existing system will be in place. Because if once you are in the local area, they have so many advantages for you compared to the shifting of to the other places. Horticulture is one of the area where the women can come and work with the agri-related businesses, which can help them to work in the entrepreneurship area. It will actually help their livelihood and the rural development and the livestock also. Training and skill development is the key area which helps the women to stand unique and separate as against the other people to come into the entrepreneurship. As we discussed regarding the decentralization and centralization and diversification of the rural areas is possible only if the employment opportunities are provided in the rural area. In the rural area, agriculture is the main key sector which helps provide the employment. Even though you can have some manufacturing units in the rural areas, but it will be very less. So the major source of the revenue for the people will come through the agriculture. Either it is agriculture directly into the agriculture or the agri-business which is interlinked or linked to the agriculture industry is concerned. The traditional practices can be preserved if the people are retained in the rural areas instead of relocating them to the urban areas. And we should think the holistic view as not only we should think the holistic view as again is the individual view of getting the employment. So generally, what are the opportunities the women can think of instead of, as against the regular trade agricultural? For regular farming is concerned. Organic farming is one of the area even the government is very concentrated and working on. And even if you see in the budget, they are introducing so many new areas of this regarding the organic farming and some other peculiar pulses and all these things, which can help them to generate more revenue compared to the traditional farming. We can multifold the income of the farmer only if you use innovative techniques as against the traditional way of farming. Livestock farming is also one of the area which the women can think of and get that work done in the rural areas itself. The farm tools, even if you see nowadays the people in the cities are interested to come to the rural areas over the weekends and to work in the farms for relaxation and even for the other CSR activities. So the agro-tourism is one of the area which can help them to generate revenue over the same. Value-added food processing units that can be started in the rural areas itself because the food produce will be available in the rural areas itself. Sorry. And the employment opportunities can also be created in the for the rural people if the food processing units are started in the rural areas. Cultivate the flowers in the local markets. Even if you see there are so many startups are coming where the flowers are being collected in the rural areas and they have been exported and even being transported to the cities, which are available in the packets for around 10 to 15 days. As against the regular life of the flowers. Fish farming and prawn farming is one of the areas where they can think of, and even the honey production. Drones is one of the area which is the government is also keen on and then encouraging the people to start the usage of the drones in the farming. Sustainable agricultural consulting. So if you see, the government is also working more on the renewable resources and sustainable ways. United Nations SDG 30, if you 2030 is the target area where the UN is keen on making the countries to adopt sustainable practices and to help for the better living of the people. So through the sustainable agricultural practices, you can use through the crop rotation, soil strengthening, and all these things, we can help we can survive, we can make the soil better for the better produce. Dairy farming is one of the area where the dairy products also can help you to get the passive income. Even though the active income is from the agriculture, the passive income can be generated through the dairy products because they will have all these cows and goats, etc. in the rural areas more. Recycling. Recycling is one of the area where we have the agricultural waste, which can be used for the converting it into the products, fine products, the with the jute or even the wastage which we received after removal of the paddy and everything. Instead of being exposed to the normal wastage, which can reduce the pollution also. We can think of even having the soil capacity testing, soil production, post-harvest services as one of the area where we can help the farmers by using the agri clinics through some training and with the help of the government, we can start thinking of those areas which the women can think of working from the rural area itself. Vertical farming is one where the land is very limited and you want to grow the plants and all these things. You can think of the vertical farming as one of the area when you can get the produce out of it and can be sold in the market. through the organic farming itself. So generally, what are the challenges women will face to become an entrepreneur? The first thing will is regarding the family structure and the cultural differences. So even today, many people and many families are not interested or not encouraging the women to start a new venture. They generally will say, why do you need it? The man is already working, you take care of the family and the kids. But that is not the case. Every human being, either it is a man or a woman, is a unique and have their own individual qualities which are unique in nature and which should be used for generating something out of it. It need not be revenue always. It should create some happiness in it. Say for example, a woman is there who has very much knowledge regarding the farming, or not only farming, or he has some handicrafts or something. So that can be used to teach someone or to encourage someone, should be encouraged in the family, not make them to mix it within the walls. Gender bias and social stereotypes. Gone are the days where the women are restricted only to the home, and there are many areas even today the women are competing with the men in all the areas. Even if you see nowadays, the women is also allowed in the army and everywhere. Even if you see, the Sunita Williams is the one who has gone access to the funding to start the business. So the funding is one of the area. If we start some business, we need some minimum funding to be required. So if you don't get the funding support from either from the family, if it is a minimum amount from outside, from the bankers or from the financial institutions, the general tendency is women, unless the government has made some schemes for them to lend the money, the bankers also are not much interested to lend the money to the women entrepreneurs who are willing to start a new venture. Work-life balance will get affected once you become an entrepreneur, because it is not a 9 to 5 job, and you have to be made available yourself as and when the demand arises. And there should be proper guidance and mentorship needs to be given to the women to understand where to kickstart the work and how to expand the work and how to collaborate with the people and how to get trained through various sources. The accessibility of information and networking is less to the women compared to the men because of various reasons, because the women will not be allowed to visit all the places even near to their houses also. Access to the better educational training facilities. The education facilities should be well developed even in the rural areas, which can help them to have a better understanding of their livelihood, how to generate the livelihood for themselves. And generally, the tendency or the myth is the risk-taking capacity of the women is less compared to the men. But the fact is the women take more risk than the men. Limited access to the digital and government schemes. As told in one of the earlier slides, there are so many government schemes which the women are not even aware, or even for that matter, the men also are not aware to make utilization of the same for the women in their own family. Ownership rights, the bank accounts and the land, even though it is technically in the name of the woman, the entire documentation and the entire transaction are being taken care by the men in the family as against the woman, and the woman will be left with no clue of what the transactions happen in her bank account. Unless we overcome these challenges, the possibility of getting more women into the entrepreneurship is limited. So these are some of the government schemes which can help the women to come into the agri-business is concerned. Dana Shakti scheme, Mahila Kisan Shakti, Stand Up India, Mahila Coher, Trade Guarantee Fund, Prime Minister Employment Generation Programs, and all these programs are which will help the women to get into the business. These are the government schemes which help the women to step out and to think of and to take the loans and to start their businesses. So what is the current scenario of the women in the business? We think of the what is the possibilities of what is the need of the women into the business, what are the areas the women come into, what are the limitations the women have were coming into the business. So what is the current scenario? Even today, the number of women in the business is very far less compared to the men. And even in the top positions in the management in the organization, it is the men who is leading all the positions, not the women. Unless we, the women, step out and come and work for ourselves, no one will push for ourselves. It is you and it your responsibility to step out and to learn yourself, to educate yourself, and to get the opportunities for yourself. Nothing is available in the silver spoon. We have to do all on our own. So what is the why do we need women in the agriculture and the agri business? It is one thing is for the food security. The more and more people who are into the agricultural business will help us to generate more food produce. And once we have the adequate food produce, there is a huge possibility of we being the warehouse or the food source for the entire world, where we can export the food, produce, and generate revenue for our farmers. The target of 5 trillion economy is not possible unless the agriculture sector is being developed, and the agriculture sector cannot be developed unless the women participation is increased, and the women should also start the businesses related to the agriculture, and even not only agriculture, for any other produce which are related to the things which can help the women to step into the and venture into the business activities. The rural development can only happen only through the agriculture, and unless the rural India is developed, it is next to impossible for the country to become a developed nation. And by 2047, hopefully we should see the India as a developed economy as against the developing economy. That can only happen only if the rural economy and rural India is developed. And the same can happen only through the agricultural development. Innovation and sustainability. The sustainability is the need of the hour because the resources are limited, and it is our responsibility to ensure that the resources are being passed to the next generation, and the climate changes are to be taken care when you are producing the agriculture or when you are venturing into any business. Gender equality is one of the topic which generally we speak of, but unfortunately at the ground level, unless the government is keen on the same, it is not possible to get adequate opportunities for the women to work and to prove themselves. Social stability can happen by reducing the poverty and equitable distribution when the woman is also been participating in the employment and the businesses. Nutritional diversity is the area where one should think of, and we all read that the new family should be provided with the adequate nutrition and nutritional values in the food they intake. That can happen only when the agricultural produce it sufficiently and there are no starvings in the country. If you see the importance given by the budget and by the government these days, the agriculture produce and the agriculture amount of investment the government is making in the agriculture sector by developing the warehouses and by providing the pesticides, seeds and all these things, it is multifolded. and that can happen over in the long run. And the organic farming is one of the area which the government is working rigorously to make farmers to encourage the same, which can help them in the long run, which can help the soil fertility and other things to happen. Because of the various steps taken by the government, the grain production has also been increased multifolded, and the production has been increased, which can help them to export more in the long run and even in the current situation also. Because of the climate changes, the agriculture produce is affecting badly because of the excessive rains, excess heat, all these things that is affecting the agricultural produce, and the unexpected rains and other things. So why do we need women in the agriculture area? So and the NGOs plays a vital role in making the women active in the agriculture and the agriculture sector through the PMKSY scheme and the NGER scheme, which help them to make employment guarantee scheme and provide opportunities to the women to start their own activities. And self-employment group, there are so many self-employment groups which help the women to come into the agriculture sector and even in the agri businesses and the other businesses also, so that it can help to improve their skill set and to reduce the barriers, economic barriers and other barriers and the social issues within the families and the rural areas. Sorry. There is the other thing which generally happens in the rural areas is the ownership. Ownership will give a more confidence to the women, or even for that matter, any person. If a particular person is the owner of the particular organization or the land, the amount of effort they will keep will be more and multifolded compared to the other things. So the women should be given the ownership and so that they will get more opportunity and more confidence over the same to increase their activities and to involve in their activities at a regular level. And the banks and the government is also will also provide more facilities to the women if the land is in the name of the women or the business is being by the women-led businesses, which actually helps the people to get more funding at a faster rate compared to the normal things. And we should always make ourselves enhance and develop with the new tools and technologies available in the market, so that we should compete with the international standards and the international level, so that the manpower utilization is at the peak level and can help them to grow multifolded. Even it will help to enhance their markets, and the innovation in technology needs to be done. Even the drone technology is one of the area where it is used in the agriculture to do the basic things of the farming. So how to make the change? Everyone will stay, you have to make the change, you have to do this, you have to do that. So how do you, unless the women feel that they are energetic and they are powerful and they are the one who can make themselves, make the changes for themselves, no one will help them, no one can make anything. There are various areas which we discussed earlier in the earlier slides the women can think of other than the normal regular farming, like the dairy farming, livestock, the weekends agriculture farming for the people who are coming over there, the training facilities, crop production facilities, technical skills, and the soil utilization, vertical farming, organic farming, herbal farming, all these different areas which the women needs to think of where if they want to venture it. They can reach out to the local government agencies and to understand what are the possibilities available and what are the facilities the rural area, respective rural development officers are providing to the women. And based on the self-employment groups and the NGOs, they have to form an organizations and to start working on the same and to generate the passive income for their family. Then only it can help them to grow at a larger scale. It is not necessary to have the huge funds available all the time. It is the willpower and the effort one needs to take and to have to move to the next level. Regarding the decision makers in agricultural households, it is the women who knows better than the men how to handle situations properly, and the risk-taking capacity is more in for the women compared to the men. Even though the agriculture is the area where it is dominated by the men, there are huge opportunities for the women to explore themselves, to step out and to do it for themselves. So the organic farming, livestock farming, agro-tourism, value-added food processing units, floriculture, aquaculture, bee culture, agtech farming, herbal medicine cultivating, sustainable agriculture consulting, agricultural training, dairy farming, agricultural waste recycling, agri-clinic, agri-business centers, and vertical farming. These are the so many areas which the women can think of and discuss within their family and outside their family, and to approach the nearest respective local banks and ask them that funds, the schemes available for them under respective areas, which can help them to think of what to start their new ventures. Apart from the regular farming is concerned, farming, unless the women start their businesses and start their new ventures, the business is the bigger term for it. They can start their own setup with a few friends they have within their family or outside their family and start venturing new things. Floriculture is one of the area which you can think of, because in the places where they have the huge flower production available, produce is there, they can tie up with the startups who are having the floriculture businesses, so that they can provide those flower produce regularly and can generate revenue out of the same. Even the weekend farming, because the rural areas which are nearly approachable to the cities can think of the agro-tourism. It can actually help them to generate revenue. There are so many CSR activities and funds which the companies are taking care of for the development and the well-being of and the livelihood of the rural areas. Through those CSR activities, they can get the training done, and it will actually help them to enhance their skill sets. Sorry. As we discussed, there is a huge need for, the women have around 48% at least in the total population. Unless we develop ourselves and make ourselves available and made ourselves to new innovative areas, the country cannot grow and the 5 trillion economy cannot be reached. So the challenges, how to overcome these challenges regarding the cultural and the family structure is concerned. We have to discuss with the family and to have to make them comfortable, stating that how we can achieve and how we can venture into the new areas. Access to the funding will start regarding the starting of the business can happen with the bankers on the government scheme. There is no requirement for you to invest your personal funds. There are so many government or schemes which can help the women to get the funding done, through which they can venture in the businesses. Proper guidance and mentorship can happen as discussed It is with regard to the CSR activities or through the government training institutes, we have to get the training. We have now facilities of having the training even online and offline these days, which can help them to learn at their own place, from the own place itself. As we discussed, the risk-taking capacity of the women is more compared to the men, and we have to make it prove to our family. Ownership rights. When you have the bank account in your name or the land in your name, it is your responsibility to ensure that you should be aware of the things, what is happening with your account. Tomorrow you can't say that I don't have any knowledge. It is only my husband who is taking, or my father who is taking care of everything. I don't have knowledge. That will not holds good. So we can take up the Q&A if we have anything. Hello. Any questions?
सो गाइस चैट बॉक्स ओपन कर दिया है, तो आप लोग क्वेश्चंस पूछ लीजिए अपनी मैम से।
So the participants are from what are the various backgrounds, right? So all are into entrepreneurship or are in studying stage. What is the stage of the participants?
Dear participants, you can ask the questions or you can drop in the chat box also. So I guess there is.
I ensure that we will get at least 15 to 20 minutes for the Q&A, so that if anyone has any questions, so that we can make the session more interactive is what I thought of.
Yeah. If anyone want to interact with the ma'am, they can raise their hands.
Regarding the eligibility criteria for any scheme, it depends upon the nature of produce or nature of business which you are intended to do. So these are some of the schemes which can help you in getting the funds through the government banks.
So, ma'am, I guess there is no question. If we get in our WhatsApp group, we'll send you by mail.
Sure, we will be happy
So,
to answer it.
on the behalf of Just Agriculture, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for enlightening the lecture on women entrepreneurship. Your passion, your knowledge, and personal experiences truly resonated our audience. So, thank you, ma'am, for sharing your time and expertise with us. We look forward the possibility for working with you again in future.
Thank you
So,
so much. Thank
dear
you.
participants, thank you. This is
Thank
all
you,
for
Manthan.
today's
All the very
session.
best for your future endeavors.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Uh, and ma'am, please share your presentation with us by mail.
Sure, I will do it.
Yeah. So, dear
Thank you.
participant, this is all from our side. See you tomorrow, the last day of Krishi Month.